Styles. Let's look at selecting and playing styles. Go to Style Play Mode. In the previous chapter, we made some changes to the keyboard tracks, so press My Setting so we both have the same sound. It's set to full chord scanning, so play a chord anywhere on the keyboard with 3 or more notes and press Start. Each style has 15 style elements. These are used to recreate the parts of songs, intros, variations, fills, and endings. You use these buttons to select a style element. This style is playing Intro 1. You can see the countdown of the measures remaining in the intro here. The flashing light above Variation 2 means that after playing the intro, it will go to that variation. As you go from Variation 1 to 4, the musical parts naturally build and get busier in the same way a typical song builds. You'll notice that since autofill is on, a fill is automatically played into the selected variation. Of course, you can turn this off so no fill is played. Whether autofill is on or off, you can always directly select the fill you want here. You'll notice that the fills are busier as you go from fill 1 to fill 4. This is used as a break fill. Turn autofill back on and press Stop. To select a style, touch the style name and simply touch the style you want. For now, select Acoustic Rock and press Exit. Select Intro 1. Split is on, so the chords are triggered below the split point. Trigger a chord. 1 note is enough to trigger a major chord. Press Start. Intro 1 has a chord progression. Intro 2 doesn't have a chord progression. It's designed to respond to your chords. Intro 3 is a short intro designed to get into the song quickly. Endings 1, 2, and 3 work the same way. Touch the style name again to open the style selection window. Like we saw when selecting sounds, the styles are grouped in categories and can be selected on screen using the tabs on the left and right. The tabs along the bottom take you to more styles in that category. Select the Ballad category, then Easy Ballad. Press Exit. Play a chord in the lower range and press Start. Almost all of the factory styles are set up with lower chord scanning, triggering the chords below the split point. You may want to select upper chord scanning so the chords are triggered above the split point. With upper chord scanning, the chord isn't triggered until you play 3 or more notes. You can also choose to turn split off and trigger the chords using full chord scanning, triggering the chords anywhere on the keyboard. Like with upper chord scanning, the chord isn't triggered until you play 3 or more notes. In Global, you can select other systems of triggering chords. Details are in the PDF manuals. These style select buttons allow you to quickly jump to a particular category. Press Funk and Soul, then select Cool Funk. As you can see, you can change to another style without stopping. There are several buttons and controls to help you interact with the styles. For example, this memory button controls whether the full accompaniment plays when you release the keys, or only the drums continue. Turn memory back on. Manual bass mutes the accompaniment except for drums and percussion, and allows you to play bass in the lower along with the upper keyboard tracks. Turn off manual bass. You'll notice that the bass in the style will always play the root of the chord you are playing no matter what inversion you play. If you turn on bass inversion, the bass will play the lowest note in your chord. From the Contemporary category, select the style AM/PM and press Exit. Play a chord, and this time press Fade In Out. The style gradually fades in. Of course, pressing the button again will make it fade out. The fade in and out times can be set in global. Each style has 4 keyboard setups saved with it. These are called single touch settings, abbreviated as STS. You can quickly access them by pressing the STS buttons under the display. Touch the STS Name tab and you can see the names and touch them directly on the display. Notice that each STS can be single or multiple sounds and can even have powerful effects like tempo delays integrated. When you select a style and this STS mode button is on, it will automatically select the STS one saved with that style. Press the STS mode button so it flashes. Now selecting a variation will also select the corresponding STS. Press it again so the light is off. Now the current keyboard track setting is kept and no STS is selected even when you change to a new style. Press it again so it is lit but not flashing. Ballroom category, Jive 1. Chord Sequencer allows you to record a chord progression and have it loop. Just before the start of a measure, press these 2 buttons simultaneously. You'll notice the red chord icon flashing in the screen. Just before the end of the last measure, press these 2 buttons. Now the chord progression will loop, freeing up both hands to play the keyboard tracks. You can turn off the chord progression and then turn it on when you need it. It will retain the chord progression until you record a new one or the LED is turned off. Ensemble can be used to add harmonies to the upper sounds based on the chords you play. You can select from a variety of different harmonies. Press Menu and touch Keyboard Ensemble and go to the Ensemble tab. Press Exit. By the way, you can quickly jump to the edit page of a button by holding down Shift and pressing the button you want to edit. For example, Pad Assignment, the Switches Assignment, setting the ensemble type, etc. Press Exit. From the Traditional category, Vienna Waltz. Play a chord. These pad buttons can have sounds assigned to them. They can play once when you press it, or loop until you press this stop button. Pads can trigger additional patterns that follow the chords you play and sync with the style. Let's start the style, but this time we'll use the tap tempo to start the style. Tapping the button sets the tempo and starts the style. By the way, while the style is playing, this same tap tempo button resets the style pattern from the beginning. Dance category, Dance Chart 1. To the right of the Start-Stop button, you will find the Synchro Start-Stop button. This controls how the accompaniment starts or stops as you play the keyboard. Press the button until Synchro Start and Stop are both off. Inside the Pa3x LE, there are 125 studio quality effects. To understand them better, let's look at how effects are incorporated using Style Play mode as an example. Pop category, 70s guitar pop. Press Menu, then touch Effects. There are two groups of effects. They are referred to as FX Group A and FX Group B. FX Group A is used for the accompaniment tracks, and FX Group B is used for the keyboard tracks. You can see the FX Group B effects change as I choose different STS. But the FX Group A effects of the style remain the same. FX Group A and B are two sets of master effects. Master effects are mixed in parallel together with the dry signal coming from a track. Each track has access to both of the master effects, and the amount of effect can be set for each track individually. You select the master effect you want here, and these tabs access each of the effect's parameters. Press Menu, touch Mixer Tuning, and go to the FX Send page. Pressing Track Select toggles between displaying the settings of the accompaniment tracks and the keyboard tracks. Display the accompaniment tracks. The amount of each of the master effects can be set for each track here. The amount of the Group B effects for each keyboard track is set here. In this example, adjusting the amount of reverb here. Press Exit. Although we've been using Style Play to explain the effects, the other modes logically work the same way. In Song Play, the sequence tracks use FX Group A and the keyboard tracks use FX Group B. In Sequencer mode, each track has access to either FX Group A or B. In Sound mode, only FX Group B is available. The LE is very flexible, giving you the power to shape the instruments to your musical needs. For example, drums. Rock category, 80s rock. Don't play a chord, just press Start so only the drums play. You can simply change a style's drum kit. Press Track Select and touch here. Or you can go to a sound within a drum kit and make changes with the Drum Editor feature. Press Menu and touch Track Controls, then the Drum Edit tab. If necessary, press the Track Select button so the accompaniment tracks are displayed. Make sure the drum track is selected. Along the top, you see the different drum and percussion families within the drum kit indicated by icons. Choose the snare drum family. Now you can adjust all these parameters of the snare drums without affecting any of the other instrument families. By the way, notice that you can adjust parameters in a few ways. The value dial, touching and dragging on the parameter, or touching the parameter twice to open a numeric keypad. The LE features some drums that were sampled with the ambience of the room. With those drum sounds, the amount and the time of the ambience can be adjusted here. Press Stop and Exit. In fact, all parts of a style can be completely edited or even created from scratch. However, it's best to keep the factory styles unchanged. Songbook is the perfect way to customize the styles to your needs and be able to call them up in a logical and efficient way, as you'll see in the Songbook chapter. If you do want to edit a factory style, it's best to copy it to a user location, then edit the copied style. Open the Style Selection window. Open the Page menu. From here you can copy and paste the style to one of the user or favorite locations. There are other useful page menu commands like rename, delete, and a command to rename the favorite banks. Press Exit twice.